Good morning and welcome to another debate. Today the issue is, should parents spank their children?
I do it my dad.
Mrs. Muhammad's side will debate. We're not in favor of spanking, so we're con. Mr. Prowser's side is in favor of spanking, so they're pro. Before we start, let's introduce ourselves, starting with Mr. Prowser's team.
I'm Paul. David.
Veronica. Thank you. And this is Muhammad's team?
Carlin.
Nizar.
Okay. Mr. Prowser's team, why don't you call it in the air, see who goes first? No, it wasn't quite in the air, but it'll work. Heads. Tails it is. So that means you guys can decide who will go first. Do you want them to open, or would you like to open?
I'm open.
You want them to
Yeah, I
open?
go open.
Okay, you guys open with your statements.
Alright. Spanking can be used as a disciplinary tool.
Oh my goodness.
Spanking is a way only to be used as a last resort to teach a kid right from wrong in a better and quicker way.
If you don't teach your kids respect while they're young, when they get older, they won't respect them.
Spanking will get the child's attention.
Okay, thank you. And Mrs. Muhammad's team. Cindy.
If you do hit your child, it will cause bruises and you get charges brought against you. If you do, the child will become more resentful towards you. The word discipline means to teach, and when you hit your kids, it doesn't teach them anything.
Say if you were in a fight, right, and if you hit somebody, say if you're in a fight, and if you hit somebody, it's not going to solve anything. All it's going to do is make a bruise.
I'll say, but if you hit your kid while they're young and all they're going to do is grow up to hit their kids.
Statements from both sides. I think what we'll do is we'll see if Mrs. Muhammad's class would like to challenge Mr. Krause's class. Anything that they said. Kyle.
Actually, they get the challenge first.
Oh, okay.
Since they opened first, they challenge first.
Thank you for the correction. You guys, would you like to challenge?
All right, so repeat the announcement.
I'd like to question Kyle. You said if you're in a fight and you hit someone, all it does is cause a bruise. We aren't talking about a fight here. We're talking about teaching your child.
Oh, my God, the
And
same
to
thing.
include Carolyn, I think your name is? Carlin, I'm sorry. Yes, discipline does mean to teach, but when used effectively, spanking can be used to teach right from wrong, which corresponds with David's argument. But that only solves the immediate issue. They're just going to go up and hit their own kids. You have to have a definite reason, and according to a recent poll, 56% of parents said you should be allowed to. That's what
Would you like to challenge something?
Yeah. I want to question Cindy. You said that if you spank your kids and they'll grow up resenting you, if they know that what they did is wrong and you punish them for that, then they should respect you for your judgment.
I'm going to ask the audience to keep it down. Believe me, you will have your turn to speak. Everybody in the audience, your day is coming.
So, to Cindy and the paint, you said that'll leave bruises and stuff. Of course, it might leave some weapons, something, but we're not talking about abusing. We're talking about spanking for the discipline of the child.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Muhammad's team, would you like to challenge them with anything they said?
I don't
Anything?
Nope.
Okay. Well, at this point, we can actually open it up to the audience. Yes, sir.
Just for someone over there, they said that what if you just if you're a father and you're having a couple of beers and your baby does something wrong with it, drops something, you know what you're doing. You're just gonna be spanking somebody for no reason.
A responsible parent won't be jailed while the child.
We're not talking about responsibility. We're talking about hitting people.
Drinking is an entirely different matter which causes a completely different situation and set of circumstances. We're talking about a sober parent disciplining a child.
Yes, my mom never hit me. She put me in a corner.
And you see why people in trouble all the time today. if they do something wrong and they know they ain't gonna hit them, next time they try to do it, they gonna think twice about doing it again.
Didn't you get in trouble for a food fight at the prison just recently?
What if you didn't discipline your kids? How would you feel? How would you feel if they disrespect you when they got older?
I'll beat them up.
Okay, what if you? Okay, let's say since you don't discipline your kids, what if they disrespect you when you got older? When they got older.
Well, we'll take away their privileges. Like they might want.
But what if they're like 18 or 19? You can't take away their privileges. They're practically out of the house.
So then it doesn't matter then, because they should know to be on their own and then disrespect anybody else. They should know better than do that.
Well, if
Because
you didn't teach
try to
them,
bring them up
if you
well.
didn't teach them when they were younger, then they
You
would
can
know.
take away their privileges.
Yeah,
Like as they're younger, instead of hitting them, and plus it'll leave emotional scars.
Not necessarily, not if you discipline your kids.
if you hit them, it'll leave emotional scars. You can be like, oh, why you hit me? And they be thinking about it in their head.
No, if you beat them, like you
Even
beat
if you beat
somebody,
somebody, I'll
no,
have
see,
some
that
emotional
was-
scars. I'll be
it's totally
hurting.
different. So you don't have to beat a child just.
You don't need spanking for the first thing. You could talk to them first,
Yeah,
and if
okay,
you do
but
it
you
again,
ain't
then you
saying
can
that.
spank them. Each time you
Oh,
still get
But about what Kyle said about just taking away their privileges. Taking away the privileges, it'll just be like, okay, if I do this, then I won't get a big punishment. I'll just get this taken away or that taken away. If you get sent to your room without TV or phone or something like that, you could just sleep until the punishment is over. That's what I do if I get sent to my room with no privileges. I
The
just
people
sleep.
tell you what they can take away from them. You can take away TV so that means they don't have to have it. If you spank them, they know that they ain't gonna do it again, like I said before.
They're gonna grow up to be their kids.
No, they're not.
If they beat their kids, then they have to be responsible.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. They're gonna know from the way they were brought up. They're gonna protect them the same way. They were spanking them at the younger age. They should know how to do it when they're young.
And if they grow up to be responsible parents, then they should know that they should only use spanking as a last resort.
To stress a point that David made that corresponds with something you said before, he said as a last resort, which means try other methods first. And you don't have to hurt them, just a little tap on the hand will let them know. And
Not
if
even.
they do it again, make it more severe. They'll get the idea eventually. And I know from experience, you don't have to hurt them a lot. As long as they know it hurts for a second, they aren't going to do it again.
That's a different story. That's a certain kid. You got to kill a kid.
Okay, we have someone else from the audience.
If you put yourself in, if your parent or guardian was, if you did something wrong and they went and they hit you and they beat you up and everything, and
That's
they just
abuse.
said,
We're not talking about abuse. We're talking about a regular
no,
form
but they
of
were just
discipline.
hitting you and just spanking you, but it put bruises on you. That would be child abuse.
To be continued. So at this point, we think, I guess we could get into closing statements.
Well, I don't think we finished the audience yet.
Okay, let me double check. Audience, we're talking today, for the second day, about spanking. Do parents have the right to spank their children? And yesterday, we had heard from some of the audience members. Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to say anything about the issue? Yes.
Could they repeat their summaries?
That comes at the end, Chris.
Right.
You weren't here
closing
yesterday.
statements at the end. This side does not feel that parents have a right to spank. This side believe that parents do have a right.
Okay, so this team. Why shouldn't a parent have the right to spank their children?
But who are you looking at? Like, which one do you
I don't know. Just that side. Anybody is.
think of?
Because it's not solving anything.
That teaches them from right and wrong.
It just solves that problem, but they're just gonna go out and just hit their own kids when they have kids.
So?
Then their kids is gonna learn to fight in school. It's just gonna sound make them
No.
violence.
It has nothing to do with abuse or anything. No, it does not. For spanking them when they do something wrong to teach them from right and wrong.
That's for that problem.
That's only for the immediate problem, but then it ain't gonna have help after all. Because then, because if you keep on going spanking your kids, and all they're gonna do is have bruises, and all they're gonna do is just have mental damage, because you're gonna keep on hitting them.
You're not talking about abuse.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna hit one thing. Because if I get hit, it's the same thing getting spanked, isn't it?
Spanking should only be used as a last resort.
So bad was fun.
You get spanked all the time.
Yeah, but if you're bad, you have a right to get hit. But now if you're not doing, that's abuse. If you get, you don't do it, I'll hit you for no reason.
Okay, Benita.
Okay, I totally disagree with this side, because when I was smaller and I did something wrong, I got beat. And then, like, and see, I know that I did wrong, and I know I got what I got. I had it coming to me, because see, I'm not gonna beat my child just because they did something wrong, right? But I know that I have to discipline my child so they know right from wrong, whether or not I got beat or not.
Okay, anyone else from the audience? All right, let's get into closing statements. And since this side started, you opened, why don't we go with Muhammad's team to close? And let's start with, we can start with Cindy.
You shouldn't hit your child because you can cause bruises and there will be charges up against you. And if you do hit your child, it'll present you more. Sometimes parents get carried away and end up causing physical and mental harm to their children. This just results in the children being violent in later years. The word discipline means to teach.
I'd like to close with like a story. When I was young, right, my mom used to beat me, right? And now that I'm older, I'm watching my brothers because she's off to work, right? So then I'm like hitting my brothers because I knew that when my mom hit me, then I knew it was, I didn't know whether or not it was right, but she hit me, so I knew that since she's older, I should listen to her. So then I'm hitting my brothers, and when I grow up, I'm probably going to hit my kids. If I don't, if people don't hit their children, then they wouldn't be learning. That's what I think.
Okay, Nazar?
I'll say you that if you hit your kids while they're young, and I would tell you, but all they're gonna do is just grow up and then hit their kids, and all it's gonna do is just cause like a lot of chaos.
Okay, let's hear from Mr. Brown.
Spanking is a disciplinary tool, and this debate is not about abusing them. It's about a regular disciplinary form. Okay.
If you get spanked, it doesn't matter if you get spanked or not. You're not gonna, if you get spanked, grow up just to hit your kid just because you got spanked. If a parent is responsible enough, then they'll only use spanking as a final way to deal with a problem.
Are we going to respond to this said, or are we starting a closing statement? If you don't discipline a child while they're younger, they're going to learn to disrespect you when they get older.
Please excuse the interruption. May I see Eric Ramos in the main office, please, at this time? Eric Ramos.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Vivian Tirado to the main office. Kalila Gray. Jessica Soto. Jessica Garcia. Eric Jackson to the main office.
Would you repeat yours?
Thanking you.
Okay. At this point, yes, you want to repeat it again? Okay.
Can you say it loud?
Spanking could get the child's attention. Oh. Okay, why don't we vote now? Raise your hand if you're in Mrs. Reddy or Mrs. Costello's class. No?
We have 1, 2, 3 ties.
Oh, there's 2 more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 throws.